Good morning. I see some people are getting seasick, so we're not going to talk about boats or sailing today. Yay! We're going to talk about expansion and growth. Have you missed that topic? Listen again. What is this growth? What is this expansion? And how do you know that if you're actually growing or not? Maybe you're shrinking. Where is the criteria that you look at to measure your growth, to see your progress, to see if you're improving? Maybe you are actually degrading instead of upgrading certain areas in your life. The growth that I talk about is not the upward growth, but growth outwards, from the core outwards. Like a tree that starts from a seed, grows into a little sprout, into a small tree, into a big tree, into a huge tree. What happens later? It dies. We have no limits except one, in the dimension of time. We are limited. Let's be optimistic and say to 120 years. Yes, if you read the book of Guinness records, you can see that, yes, there were people who lived up to about that age. So it is possible. It is not common, but it is possible. So, top, 120 years, the amount of time. How much can you grow in that time? You can stay at the needle point, but that size, you can grow to the size of a tennis ball. You can grow to the size of a basketball, or the size of the moon. And who does that depend on? You. Exactly. How do you grow? And what is it? What is it? What are you talking about? We still don't get it. I'll have to answer this. Sorry about that. That's a really interesting story. Let's postpone the talk about expansion for now on. This phone call is followed up. Well, no, this is a follow-up from a strange series of emails from Facebook. Some guy telling me that, you know, blah blah blah, I like your pictures and so on. And he wants to travel to Thailand because he's on a cruise boat or whatever working, and he would really like to meet me and so on. But now their boat is really having big problems and he needs to send his things to Thailand. So can I give him a postal address to send his things to? And the email says that he's actually British, but his English is definitely not British. And it's dodgy. So I kept on following up. It's like, yeah, what sort of things? Oh, just personal things. Okay. And so on. And I said, I'm sorry, I don't have an address. I don't have a permanent address. And you know that's true, right? Okay, then he says he really needs my help to send his things to Thailand. And here is like, okay, I really wonder what these things are. And if they should go direct to the police station or be picked up somewhere by the police. And now there's a phone call this morning from a cell phone number, a Thai lady, who says that she's a postal service and she wants the address, the postal address, because there's some parcel for me from Dubai. She knows my name from Facebook. She knows my phone number from I don't know where, but there's a parcel from Dubai. Now, are these two stories linked or not? And I know that some people have sent me things, but why would you not have the address? How would you send the things if you do not know the address? Complete address. I've given you my complete address, so it must have been somebody from somewhere else sending whatever is not supposed to be sent. And in cases like this, you want to stay away and you want to cut it off, or you want to help. You want to go and talk to the police. You want to record all the phone conversations. You want to get the person's name, like they would tell you their real name. I'm more towards the second option, so I will talk to my police friends today and see where this parcel can be directed to the good hands who could handle it properly. And this will hopefully help. And if that is a book or a magazine, no problem, I can pick it up from the police station. All safe, all good. But if you do send something, make sure that there's nothing illegal in it. Of course, you wouldn't do that. And just know that I do open my parcels in front of other people, just in case if there is something that should not be there. Because you never know who can be watching and who can be doing things that should not be done. Now, back to expansion. Expansion. Shrinking is no good thing. We all want to expand. Now, how can we measure it? Imagine yourself in your room, in your house. Maybe you don't have to imagine, maybe you are in your room. This is your comfort zone. You feel yourself. You feel at home. You feel comfortable. You can do whatever you like. You can even fart and not care. You can wear whatever is comfortable. You don't have to worry about other people judging you or thinking, no, what is he doing? What is he wearing? What is he saying? This is your comfort zone. Now, imagine your friends, your best friend, your closest friend, maybe your parents, people who are close to you. How comfortable it is to be talking to them, to be in the same space with them. If your friend walked in, maybe your mother, and they could sit together on your bed and just talk. Talk about whatever is on your mind or on their mind. Most people have these close friends and are close to some people. Maybe your partner, maybe your wife, your children, your parents, your friends. But some people are still at a very small comfort zone. And the expansion is exactly that comfort zone. This is what I'm talking about, expanding your comfort zone. When you feel that you can do anything and say anything, and the other people will not judge you, more or less. You are comfortable, you are at home, you are being yourself. You are saying whatever is on your mind. This is comfort zone. People understand you. You don't have to pretend. You don't have to be somebody else. For the people who do not have the close relationships, close connections with others, nobody understands. Even my family don't understand me. My friends, they're more like acquaintances. We're not really close friends. I can't open up to anybody. This is called still being at that needle point, very small, limited comfort zone space, not have expanded yet, and anybody can expand limitlessly. The only thing that limits you is the time. Nothing else stands in your way. Most of the people would feel comfortable walking around their town, walking around the office, walking around their country. Some people, and the amount gets less and less, will feel comfortable when they travel to other countries. Yes, perhaps if the other country speaks the same language, maybe that would help. If they don't speak the same language, you can sort of get by the French that you used at school. Maybe you have a friend to guide you. But the comfort shrinks. The comfort zone has limits with everybody, because we are not endless yet. We have not expanded yet to that size. Expansion is feeling more comfortable. Expansion is when you do not have to worry when you are going to an art exhibition opening. You don't have to think that there will be so many new people and I really don't know what to talk about because I don't know anybody and I'm not really interested in art and I don't know anything about art. And I'll feel so uncomfortable there. Can I not go? Maybe. But I've been invited. That kind of feeling. You know that that is not your comfort zone. When I was instructing you, teaching you to expand your comfort zone and feel that you are protruding into other areas, that you are expanding, that you are becoming part of the bed, part of the walls, part of the trees, part of the cars, part of the people. This is to give you another level of comfort with everything that is around you, when you can relate to it, when you feel that you are part of it. When you walk into a room of 200 people you don't know, some of them are Chinese, some of them are Russian, some of them are American, and some of them are British and French and German. And you don't have the common language with everybody. And you don't know what work they do and what kind of people they are. You are meant to be in your comfort zone, because people are people. And once you have grown enough to be close to those people, to be connected with those people, to be all over the space where the people are, you feel just like you are in your room, sitting there on the bed talking to your best friend. You don't need to think about, well, I might not know enough on the subject that my best friend is going to talk about. I feel nervous and all tense because he will judge me on not knowing enough about art. Your friend will not judge you. Your friend loves you for who you are, and you love your friend for who he is or she is. They will not say like, how come you don't know anything? They will not think that you are uneducated. They just love you. They are your best friend, and you are in each other's comfort zone. And other people can be as well. It depends on how large you are, how large your comfort zone is. Sometimes shrinking happens. When we feel so confident and we go to that art exhibition and meet the 200 people that we don't know, and then somebody says, what? You haven't heard of this artist? Everybody hasn't heard of this artist. Huh? And then the comfort zone shrinks. Yeah, maybe this is not you, but believe me, some of the things that we hear and we see sometimes make us withdraw our energy from the wider space to a smaller space. Some of us rapidly withdraw from certain things, from pain, from hurt and fear, into the needle point. And this is when everything feels so heavy. The more concentrated the energy in you is, the heavier it feels. The smaller you are, the smaller your comfort zone is, the heavier, the more difficult life is. What is this tennis ball comfort space? Tennis ball comfort space is when you are all about yourself. Life is full of fear. Life is full of what if in a negative way. Life is full of people who do not understand you, people you cannot relate to. Life is full of selfish people who don't care about you. This is what you see. This is what makes you shrink back into the tennis ball. What's the next step from the tennis ball down? It's the needle point. This is you feel so heavy that you're about to explode. This is when people commit suicide. Nobody understands me. Nobody cares, and so on. Nobody needs me, and I don't need anybody, and I don't like anybody, and I can't connect to anybody. This is just me the way I am, and it gets smaller and smaller and smaller till it's gone. So if you have experienced the symptoms of shrinking your comfort zone and shrinking your personal space caused by some outside factors like a girl rejecting you, perhaps, yes, society rejecting you, losing the job, health, accidents, whatever else could have happened, it could have caused shrinking. If the energy is still in that shrinking direction, and energy is like a ball rolling. When you throw it, it doesn't stop right there. It keeps on rolling. It keeps on rolling to a certain point. So when you give yourself a vibe that sends the energy inwards, it does slow down at the time, but it first is but it's still shrinking, it's still moving in the same direction. You got to change the direction outwards. This is how our energy is supposed to work. Introvert, extrovert. We are all born extroverts. What makes us introverts? Thinking that other people do not understand or would not understand, thinking that other people would judge us on what we would say or what we would share with the world, thinking that nobody needs your love, nobody needs your stories, emotions, and so on. So you don't want to push it on anybody, because this is you, so just keep them to myself. If you have problems, keep them to yourself. If you have joy, keep it to yourself. If you have money, keep it to yourself. Inwards. And what causes? What happens when everything goes inwards? It all gathers at the needle point. The needle point when it's just too much to handle, because you feel so tight and so in yourself. And all the thoughts are purely about yourself, your well-being, and not even thinking that other people exist. Now, this is an extreme. This is the needle point. We are mostly somewhere between this size of the ball and this size of the ball, depending. Yes, people who have kids, they probably grow. This is what kids make you do. You sacrifice. If you had a baby, you would know what I'm talking about. You start to think about another person. You have to think about another person. Now, it's not about your sleep. It's about the baby's stomach that's hurting and the baby's crying and you're all worried. So, who cares if I get some sleep? It's just the baby that needs to be healthy and happy, right? So you do expand. And what happens later? Yes, children make us grow. This is what nature made us do, instinctively. But we are also to care about other people, and caring about other people is expanding to the bigger size of the ball, because we don't have to care about the other people, because if we don't breastfeed the other people, they will not die. So we're not made and forced by nature to care about other people, we think. But if you choose not to, because you don't have to and you're not forced by nature, then you will realize after a while that you're going inwards. Pop! Ouch! That hurt. And the needle point hurts. To summarize the expansion theory, grow. Send your energy out rather than in. Don't concentrate on yourself. The more you concentrate on yourself, the smaller the ball gets. The harder is the energy, the more concentrated it is on yourself. At the core, there is a dot, a little dot above the letter I. This is what the dot is. Everything becomes about you when the ball shrinks. Self-pity, how life is unfair, how I deserve more, and this is what I deserve. Why am I not getting it? Why is she happy and I'm not? Damn, it must be his fault because he's not a good husband to me, or her fault because she's not a good sister, and everybody else is making my life hell. Why am I here? And why is this all happening to me? And yeah, sure, it's easy for her to say that you shouldn't have any stress and you should be eating healthy. You live in Thailand, on a tropical island, and I live here in the city and I have to work. We all are owners of our own life. We choose what we do in life. Nobody is to blame for our misfortunes except ourselves. Sure, if you go out on the street and say, everybody take my money, people will take advantage of it. So you don't go out on the street and shout that people please take my money. Or take my house, take my car, take my chastity, whatever. Nobody can take advantage of you unless you give it to people. But once you give, there's no reason to come back to the inward thinking and think, hey, I just gave, and I gave a lot. Why isn't everybody loving me? Why aren't people coming to me and saying, oh, thank you. I expect that. This is what I did it for. Now nobody cares. They just took advantage of me. They used me and so on. Inward thinking. Outward thinking. I gave I'm happy that I gave, and I can give more because I have an unlimited source of love. Whenever I am growing outwards, I know that everything is mine, and yet nothing is mine, because we come empty-handed and we leave empty-handed. You can't own anything forever. Everything is very temporary. Just like coming on a holiday to Thailand for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you don't want to buy a desk. Yeah, sure, you might need a desk one day to use your computer, but you don't want to buy it because you're going in 3 weeks. Who needs a desk? You can do without it. This mentality should be with you back home too. Who needs an extra new desk? It's not a basic. You already have a desk. It's good enough. Sure, yes, there is a better, bigger one, but you're going to leave. Is this really your oxygen mask? If you don't have it, you're going to suffocate? No. Your oxygen mask is already on. Now, help other people. Not necessarily physically, but in the blah blah way is also fine. In the feeling way is also fine. If you can relate to them, of course, if they are in your comfort zone. Let people into your comfort zone, and people will feel that they are in the comfort zone. They will feel more comfortable too. You know how nice it is to hear all the time, I really feel comfortable talking to you. I really feel that you understand me. How often do you hear that? How often do you say that? This defines your expansion. Thank you for caring about me. I can really feel it. And when you hear it coming from another person, you realize that you have just bought them a new Porsche. Maybe. I don't mean physically, but you've brought joy into their life. To some people, giving a little bit of love can mean more than a new Porsche. Okay, I am obsessed with cars. The Porsche example wasn't really working, but joy it brings to people when somebody understands them, when somebody makes them open up, when somebody listens and is genuinely interested in them, is worth much more than a Porsche, or even 10 Porsches. Yeah, maybe not 10 Porsches, but anyway, it has some value that you might not even understand at certain points. When you hear these little strokes on the head, good boy, by good boy, I mean other people telling you, yes, thank you, I really had a great time with you, I love talking to you, can we meet again tomorrow? Because I feel that somebody understands me, I can really relate to what you're saying, I feel that we are connected, that I think that we can have a good conversation and understand what is on each other's mind and soul and whatever. I feel like I can say anything to you, I don't have to keep secrets, I don't have to pretend, I can be myself. When you hear that, that's a stroke on the head. That means that you have been a good boy. You have been expanding and growing and developing. And that is just like seeing progress in your yoga or in your running or in your knowledge. It's like getting an A+ on an exam back at school. Kind of like, yay feeling. Okay. If somebody did send me something from Dubai, and I'm still thinking about that phone call, can you please email me and tell me who you are and what you have sent before I go to the police and tell them all about it. And later, when a book on interior design arrives, police is going to laugh at me. Haha, Dina, it's not drugs from some unknown person. It's actually a book from your friend. Right, okay. But the address should be there, right? Why didn't you put the address on the envelope? Hey. Okay. Thank you for listening, and your captain is now going to the AA meeting. Bye-bye.